Jonathan, I am doing fantastic. So here we are, less than 24 hours after Vice President Harris picked her running mate, and it happened to be Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. So I'm going to let you start this off with your thoughts because mine are going to be pretty detailed. So go ahead.
I mean, I talked to a lot of different people yesterday about it, all different types of people, just to kind of get their feeling and give them mine. And most people were like, hey, I've seen the circle of people that he's around. I see the people that have endorsed him, like AOC and so on. And just off of what I know of them, I don't like the guy. That's what people have said. I mean, we've seen during COVID what happened to Minnesota and how the city just kind of turned upside down and he virtually did nothing. So I don't know how we would be okay with a person like that being in, second in command of the country. Let alone, I mean, it's not like Harris is not exactly the perfect person to run the country. I mean, I've asked a couple people also, like, can you think of one thing that she's done or one good idea, one thing that Joe and her have done? And again, doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat, most people don't have an answer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just don't get the pick. I mean, I don't get the ticket either. I don't get Harris as the person that the Democrats are pushing. I don't think it's a strong card. I think that's like they feel like they have no other choice. But it's just a radical, in my opinion, right? It's a radical party to pick that.
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. Tim Walz, when you start looking at his background, and a lot of it came out yesterday because, hey, listen, it's Minnesota. No offense, but, the rest of the country ain't really looking at Minnesota. So she chooses this guy, Tim Walz. So we find out he spent 10 years in Congress. He was a school teacher prior to that. He actually, as governor, he actually signed a bill that actually went into effect this year, where there are now tampon machines in all the boys' bathrooms from grades 4th to 12th throughout the whole state of Minnesota. I got to tell you, I was really, upset by when I saw that because I'm saying, damn, man, I'm about like 35 years off from like having a tampon machine when I went to the bathroom in high school. It's like, the best thing I ever got was like you walk into a boy's room, you're like sniffing some weed and some guys, a couple of guys smoking in a bathroom stall. But not in all seriousness. You look at that. He is huge on the trans protection of children, making it a refugee. And also for criminal immigrants, he's made the whole state, a safe haven. And it's just like, and you want to be vice president? He touts this military record that, all the years he spent in the National Guard, retiring a sergeant major. And you know what? You don't believe in protecting your borders? I'm like, I will say this. This is the first time in American history when you look at Harris and now Tim Walz for a major ticket. This is a Marxist ticket. This is not a Democratic ticket. This is totally Marxist. And, I was watching last night in Philadelphia when they came out at 6:00, Kamala Harris and also Tim Walz. Harris spoke for 30 minutes and then turned the mic over to him. I will give him credit. He's a good speaker. All right. He doesn't use a teleprompter. And, that was one thing he actually told the Harris campaign. He goes, listen, I've never used a teleprompter, but Harris can't, work on her own without a teleprompter. I like people that can speak from the cuff. So I'll give him that much credit. But his leftist, and he's totally leftist, ideas is out of control. They're not constitutional. This guy wants to rip apart America just as Harris, has done it out in California when she was the attorney general, also a senator, and, sitting as the vice president. Her track record sucks. I mean, if she was a Marxist, her track record would be great, but she doesn't want to say she's a Marxist Democrat. That's the problem there. Also with him, meaning Tim Walz, they dug up a DWI that he had, I think it was back in 1995, I think it was. He did 96 miles in a 55-mile zone. Hey, listen, in his defense, he could have been listening to Sammy Hagar's I Can't Drive 55, so he put the pedal to the metal. So, all right, we'll give him that much. No, but in all seriousness, I'm not going to hold that against him. We've all done stupid shit when we're younger, all right? So, outside of that, his ideas are totally too leftist. And the culture they're trying to push onto this country is not an American culture. They're trying to create such a divide. Your thoughts on all this stuff I just mentioned?
I think what's really concerning, I think what people need to do, including ourselves, like don't even listen to what we say. I think people have to go out there and do some real research themselves, and don't go to like the first site you look at. Find a reputable source that shows and goes over what each candidate represents, because I think that's the main. I see these commercials, right, where Vice President Harris is talking about, I want you to have one job. You don't need two jobs to survive. Like, I don't know what world these people are living in, but she and Joe Biden, President Joe Biden, are the people that are in charge of the country right now, and that's the place that they've left people right now. Is they can't afford anything. They have to have multiple jobs to pay the bills. So how could anything be much different? Now, people will say that Harris is just working with Joe, and it's his policies that she's just kind of working with, but she has better ideas. I just don't buy it. I don't get it, and I think she'll be worse than Joe Biden. Put it that way.
Oh,
So
without a doubt, it's her mentality. It's her track. You know what? All you got to do is look at their track records. Not interrupt you, Jonathan,
yeah,
but it's not only you can look at different sources, which I agree with you, but look at their track records, their history of what they have been doing, because that's going to tell you the barometer where they're going to go.
I think that's what you have to do. I think to put aside the person that each of them are, right? How they look, who they are, and what what they're saying. Put aside that, because everyone's just telling people whatever they want to tell them, and just look at their track record. Like you said, I know a lot of people don't like Trump, right? And I think there are things that he does that may not rub people the right way. But if you just look at what he's done, right, and don't even look at his business career. Look at just what he did in the 4 years that he was president and what happened because of that, as far as how the economy grew, how people were, what we did to protect rights, how we helped Israel, those kind of things. He has a very good track record. And then look at what Joe has done or what Harris plans to do. I don't even know if she knows what to do, honestly. I think she's just, I heard her react to a question someone gave her about what she would do with all the inflation and this, that, and the third.
I saw a video on that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the answer she had was ridiculous, and she just
Yep.
she didn't know what to say. So I guess what would scare me the most, and what should scare everyone, is that she's going to have people telling her what to say. So I'm sure she went back to her campaign and said, "What should we say now about this? What's going to be the policy? How are we going to do this?" But she doesn't know what to do. You're going to give the keys to a person that just doesn't know what to do on anything. That's going to be, we're going to be, in big trouble. I mean, if you're a Democrat, looking at that person to be the person that runs the country, I still say there's got to be a better option for the Democrats.
Oh, you know what? Personally, they could have taken Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania, which would have been strategically a smart move to, move Pennsylvania. Where I live, there are a lot of people from Pennsylvania that have migrated to where I am in the South. And they said he was a great, very good state attorney general. He's hard on crime and stuff like that. He has, I think, a favorable, 58% rating as governor. One thing with him, I think that Kamala didn't want to get outshined because he is very articulate. He's a very good, strong speaker. I didn't get to see his speech yesterday where he announced him there in Philadelphia, but she probably got intimidated by that. So, this is the Bernie Sanders ticket. This is the total Marxist ticket, Harris and Walz. Do I see her winning? Unless there's a huge amount of cheating, but people are going to have to come out in droves. Okay. If you're going to vote for Trump, you got to come out in droves. No excuses. Don't take this laying down. We got to get out there. Hey, listen, I'm going to give advice to Donald Trump, and I'm sure he's gotten it from other people. Stay on course. Talk about the issues. Don't be the fourth grader bashing people like, a WWE promotional. Okay. Stay on course. Talk about the economy. Talk about immigration. Talk about international relations. Talk about bringing peace. Okay. And talk about not sending all this money to the Ukraine and Israel and other parts of the world. We need to take care of our own backyard, because Our infrastructure is dilapidating. We are one of the worst countries when it comes to internet infrastructure in the world. Okay. There's places in Africa that surpass us. Okay. Thailand surpasses us. All right. In the speed of the internet. But we have to actually take care of our own backyard and address our deficit, address how we can become more self-sufficient in our country where people can prosper, middle-class families can actually be middle class. Because with Harris and Walz, even though they're talking about the middle class, they only want two classes, okay? Because that's what Marxism is. And that's what they're looking to bring, all right? You're going to be worse off. And that's really the bottom line. The thoughts, Jonathan?
I mean, all of what you said, unify the country. We need people to come together as one. I mean, and we've been so divided for so long, and I think it's really starting to take a big, big toll on everyone. And yeah, I mean, I think this is going to have a lot of implications with businesses in the future. So what we do today is going to influence the next obviously the next 4 years. So if you own a business, if you're trying to start a business, if you're trying to maintain your business, you got to think really twice about who you're going to vote for, what you want to do, where you want to see the country.
And you bring up a very valid and strong point. The next 4 years is going to dictate where businesses are going to go, especially Main Street America. Let's forget about big corporations. Main Street America, the small businesses, where are they going to be in the next 4 years? And that's going to really, truly depend on who wins the presidential election. That's really, truly what it comes down to. So hopefully people will realize what's best for the economy and the nation itself. All right. And we got to stop all these freebies to people. All right. We need to get out there and work hard. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Hopefully it's been creative knowledge for you. We ask you to hit that thumbs up and please subscribe if you hadn't. Take care. Enjoy your day.